Your life can change the moment your mind changes. People think it takes years, that you need luck, money, or the right connections. But no, that's not true. The real change begins when you change the way you think about yourself, your future, and the challenges standing in your way. Shift from complaining to creating. If there is one thing that silently destroys dreams before they even begin, it is the habit of complaining. Many people don't even realize how much energy they waste blaming circumstances, blaming the economy, blaming their boss, their family, the government, or even the weather. Complaining feels easy because it allows us to release frustration without taking responsibility. It gives us a momentary sense of relief because we can point to something or someone else and say, "That's the reason my life isn't better." But here is the painful truth. Complaining changes nothing. It does not pay your bills. It does not solve your problems. It does not open new opportunities. And it certainly does not move you one step closer to the life you dream of. It only keeps you stuck exactly where you are while draining your energy and focus. Life is never going to be perfect. No one is handed ideal circumstances on a silver platter. Even the most successful people you admire have faced rejection, failure, heartbreak, financial struggles, and sleepless nights. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not that one group had easier lives. It is that one group decided to take action while the other decided to complain. Complaining keeps you in the role of a victim, while creating puts you in the role of a problem solver. When you choose to create instead of complain, you immediately take back control over your life, because now, instead of pointing fingers at the world, you are asking yourself, what can I do with what I have right now? How can I turn this mess into a message, this pain into progress, this problem into possibility? Think about this. Every breakthrough, every invention, every business, every great achievement came from people who faced problems, but chose to create solutions. The light bulb was created because someone was tired of the dark. Airplanes were invented because someone was tired of slow, exhausting journeys. The most inspiring success stories begin with people who were frustrated, but instead of staying frustrated, they transformed that frustration into innovation and action. Imagine if those people had spent their lives complaining instead. We would still be living without electricity, without cars, without the internet, without modern medicine. The moment you stop complaining, your mind starts looking for solutions. It begins to focus on what can be done rather than what went wrong. This simple mental shift opens doors you never saw before, because complaining closes your eyes while creating opens them. You cannot see opportunities when you are busy talking about problems. The energy you waste telling everyone why something cannot be done could be used to find a way to do it. That's why some people achieve so much while others remain stuck for years. It's not intelligence or luck alone. It's where they put their energy. I have met people who spend hours complaining about their job, yet never use that same time to learn a new skill, build a side hustle, or apply for something better. I have seen people complain about how unfair life is, but never take the first small step toward changing it. Here is the reality: no one is coming to rescue you. The world will not stop for your complaints. If you want change, you must create it. Even small actions matter, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates possibilities. Believe before you see. One of the greatest truths about success that most people overlook is this: you must believe in the possibility of your dream long before you ever see it become real. Too many people say, "I'll believe it when I see it," but that mindset keeps them trapped, because reality always begins in the mind before it shows up in the world. Every invention, every business, every personal transformation began first as an idea, a picture in someone's imagination, long before it became visible to anyone else. The people who change the world are the ones who dare to believe in something so strongly that they keep moving toward it, even when everyone around them says it's impossible. Think about the airplane. Before it existed, the idea of humans flying seemed ridiculous. People laughed at the Wright brothers because the concept sounded like madness. Yet, they believed it was possible before a single person ever saw a machine lift off the ground. That belief fueled their effort, their creativity, and their persistence until what once seemed like a dream became reality. Now, millions of people fly across the world every day without even thinking about it. But it all started because two men believed before they saw. This is the same in life. If you wait until everything looks perfect before you start, you will wait forever. Life doesn't give you guarantees up front. It asks for your belief first. It tests whether you have the courage to keep going when nothing around you looks like success. And here's the secret. Your belief is like the soil where the seeds of your future grow. If the soil is weak, nothing will take root. If the soil is strong, even the smallest seed can grow into something extraordinary. I've met so many people who talk about their dreams with excitement, but the moment things get difficult, they give up because they didn't truly believe in what they were chasing. Real belief is not a shallow feeling that comes and goes. It is a deep conviction that keeps you moving forward even when the road is long, the nights are dark, and the results seem far away. It whispers to you, keep going, because one day this will all make sense. Belief also changes how you see yourself. When you believe in your dream, you start acting like someone who deserves it. You begin learning, growing, and preparing for the life you want. People without belief often sabotage themselves because deep down, they don't think they're capable or worthy of success. They hesitate, they procrastinate. They let opportunities pass because they don't think they can handle them. But when you believe, you start showing up differently. You walk into rooms with confidence. You speak with purpose. You treat small beginnings with respect because you know they're leading somewhere greater. And let's be honest, there will always be people who don't see what you see. They will doubt you, laugh at you, or even try to convince you to give up because they cannot imagine the future you are working toward. That's why your belief matters so much. It has to be strong enough to withstand other people's doubts, strong enough to keep you focused when the results are slow, strong enough to carry you through failures until success finally arrives. Embrace challenges as teachers. Every single person on this planet wishes for an easy life. But here is the reality: no one can escape. Life will challenge you whether you want it to or not. There will be obstacles, setbacks, disappointments, and moments when nothing seems to go according to plan. And while most people see these challenges as punishments or signs to give up, the truth is that challenges are not here to destroy you. They are here to shape you. They are the teachers life sends to prepare you for the future you say you want. Think about it. A seed must break apart before it grows into a tree. Gold must go through fire before it becomes pure. A diamond is only formed because coal endured years of pressure deep underground. In the same way, you cannot grow without challenges. They push you to develop strength, patience, creativity, and resilience, qualities you will never gain if life hands you everything on a silver platter. Easy times make you comfortable, but challenges make you powerful. The problem is that most people run from difficulty the moment it appears. They say, "Why me? Why is this happening? Life is so unfair." But here's the secret. Life is not unfair. It is simply training you. Every difficulty you face carries a lesson inside it, and if you refuse to learn the lesson, you will keep facing the same problem over and over again. That is why some people go through the same financial struggles, the same relationship failures, the same disappointments at work, because they never stop to ask, what is this teaching me? I have seen people lose a job and think it is the end of the world, only to discover later that losing that job pushed them to start a business they had always dreamed about. I have seen people go through heartbreak and feel like they will never recover, only to meet someone years later who was a far better partner than they ever imagined. At the moment, challenges feel like pain, but with time, you realize they were shaping you for something bigger, something better, something you would never have experienced if life had gone smoothly. When you start to embrace challenges as teachers, everything changes. Instead of crying over a closed door, you start asking, what can I learn here? How can this make me stronger? How can this prepare me for the next level? That shift in perspective turns obstacles into opportunities. Suddenly, failure is no longer a full stop. It becomes a comma, just a pause in the sentence of your life, not the end of the story. And here is something powerful. Challenges reveal to you what you are truly capable of. You will never know how strong you are until life demands strength from you. You will never know how creative you can be until you face a problem that forces you to think differently. You will never know how much courage you have until fear stands in front of you, daring you to quit, and you keep going anyway. So, the next time life throws difficulties your way, remember this: you are not being punished. You are being prepared. Every setback carries a seed of growth. Every problem comes with a hidden opportunity, and every challenge is shaping you into the person you need to become for the life you desire. Focus on long-term value, not short-term comfort. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their true potential is because they trade the future they want most for the comfort they want right now. It is human nature to seek what feels good in the moment, to choose what is easy, safe, and enjoyable today, even when it costs us the life we could have tomorrow. People quit dreams because they are difficult. They avoid discipline because it is uncomfortable. They spend money on things they do not need instead of investing in their future. And then years later, they look back and wonder why nothing changed. The truth is simple yet painful. Every choice you make is either building your future or burying it. Look at the most successful people in any field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, scientists. They all share one thing in common. They made sacrifices today to create a life they wanted tomorrow. They woke up early when others were sleeping. They practiced when others were partying. They learned when others were wasting time. They invested in skills, relationships, and opportunities while others were chasing distractions. Success did not come because they were lucky. It came because they refused to be slaves to short-term comfort. The problem with short-term comfort is that it feels so satisfying in the moment. Scrolling through social media, eating junk food, binge watching shows, or buying things you cannot afford gives you temporary pleasure, but it leaves you with long-term emptiness. On the other hand, building a business, exercising regularly, saving money, or learning new skills might feel uncomfortable now, but it gives you freedom and success later. The question you must ask yourself is simple. Do you want to feel good for a moment, or do you want to live well for a lifetime? I have met people who dream about financial freedom, but spend every paycheck on things that lose value the moment they buy them. I have met people who want to be healthy, but refuse to change their habits because junk food tastes good today. I have seen people with incredible talent give up on their goals because success did not come fast enough. They want the result, but not the process. They want the reward, but not the discipline. But life does not work that way. You cannot harvest in the same season you plant. You cannot expect a great future if you refuse to build it brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. Here is something powerful to remember. The future will come whether you prepare for it or not. 10 years from now, you will either be grateful you started today or regret that you didn't. Time will pass anyway. Comfort is expensive because it steals your future while pretending to be your friend. Discipline, on the other hand, may feel difficult now, but it pays you back with freedom, opportunities, and success that comfort can never give you. So when you feel like quitting because the road seems long, remind yourself that every small step, every hour of hard work, every sacrifice you make today is a seed being planted for life you want tomorrow. If you refuse to plant, you cannot expect a harvest. But if you stay consistent, the day will come when you look back and realize it was all worth it, that the pain was temporary, but the rewards became permanent. One of the most powerful truths about success that people often ignore is this: the people you spend your time with are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Your friends, colleagues, and even family members influence the way you think, speak, and act. They affect your confidence, your energy, and even your dreams. It is impossible to stay around negative, unmotivated, small-minded people and expect to live a big, bold, successful life. Your environment matters more than you think. It either pushes you forward or quietly holds you back. Have you ever noticed how some conversations leave you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to take on the world, while others leave you drained, discouraged, and full of doubt? That is the power of people. When you surround yourself with growth-minded individuals, people who dream big, work hard, and refuse to settle, you naturally start thinking bigger yourself. Their energy, ideas, and attitudes rub off on you. They challenge you to grow, to do better, to push past your limits. But when you surround yourself with people who complain all the time, gossip about others, and focus only on problems instead of solutions, you slowly start shrinking without even realizing it. I have seen people with incredible potential waste years of their lives because they were surrounded by friends who had no ambition. They stayed in the same routine, doing the same unproductive things every day because no one around them was aiming higher. When you are surrounded by people who refuse to grow, staying stuck starts to feel normal. That is why it is so dangerous. You begin to think small because everyone around you thinks small. You stop dreaming big because everyone around you stopped dreaming big. Without realizing it, you adapt to the level of the people around you. On the other hand, when you spend time with people who talk about ideas instead of gossip, who discuss opportunities instead of complaining, who celebrate your wins and encourage you in your losses, everything changes. You begin to feel alive again. You start seeing possibilities where you once saw limitations. Their confidence gives you confidence. Their courage gives you courage. Their hunger for growth makes you hungry for growth too. That is the beauty of a growth-minded environment. It lifts you higher than you could have climbed alone. Sometimes, this means you will have to make hard choices. You may have to distance yourself from people you have known for years because you realize they do not want to grow, and they do not want you to grow either. It is painful because we care about them, but the truth is that staying in the wrong environment can cost you your future. You cannot afford to let someone else's lack of ambition become the reason you never reach your potential. There is a saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If that is true, look closely at your circle. Are they pushing you forward or pulling you back? Are they inspiring you to become the best version of yourself? Or are they comfortable staying exactly where they are? If the answer scares you, it is time to make a change, because the right people can open your eyes, challenge your limits, and help you become someone you never imagined you could be. One of the hardest things for people to accept is rejection. It hurts. It feels personal. It makes you question your worth, your abilities, and sometimes even your dreams. When someone tells you no, when a door closes in your face, when an opportunity slips away, it is natural to feel like the world is against you. But here is the truth that can change everything. Rejection is not the end. It is simply redirection. It is life saying, not this way. Not this door. There is something better ahead. Think back to a time when you wanted something badly, but did not get it. Maybe it was a job you thought was perfect for you, a relationship you were sure would last forever, or a goal that slipped through your fingers despite all your effort. At that moment, it felt like the end of the world. But now, looking back, can you see how things eventually worked out in a different way, maybe even a better way than you expected? That is what rejection does. It feels like destruction, but in reality, it is construction. It clears the wrong path so you can find the right one. The problem is that most people take rejection too personally. They see it as proof that they are not good enough, smart enough, talented enough, or deserving enough. They stop trying. They let one no define their entire future. But rejection does not mean you are not capable. It simply means that path was not meant for you, or you are not ready yet, or there is something bigger waiting that you cannot see right now. Life has a way of protecting us from things we think we want, but that are not truly right for us. Some of the most successful people in history faced rejection so many times that most of us would have given up long before they succeeded. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job as a news anchor. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 different publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Imagine if they had taken those rejections as a sign to quit. The world would have missed out on their gifts. They understood something powerful. Rejection is not a dead end. It is a detour guiding you toward the place you are truly meant to be. The next time someone says no to you, instead of collapsing in defeat, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Where is this pushing me instead? Maybe you need to improve your skills. Maybe you need to change your strategy. Or maybe you need to aim for something far greater than what you were settling for. Rejection often saves us from small dreams so we can chase bigger ones. I have seen people stay stuck for years because they could not let go of the door that closed. They keep looking at what they lost instead of looking ahead, at what could be gained. But you cannot walk into your future if you keep staring at the past. Every closed door is proof that it was not your door. Stop knocking where you are not welcome and start looking for the doors that open easily, because those are the ones meant for you. Take consistent, small steps every day. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it comes from one big, dramatic action or a sudden stroke of luck that changes everything overnight. People imagine a single breakthrough moment, a big opportunity, a winning idea, a lucky chance that transforms their lives instantly. But the reality is very different. Success is rarely about one giant leap. It is almost always the result of countless small steps taken consistently, even when no one is watching, even when progress feels painfully slow. The reason so many people fail to reach their goals is not because they lack talent, resources, or opportunities. It is because they start with excitement, expecting fast results, and when success doesn't come quickly enough, they lose motivation and give up. They underestimate the power of consistency. They forget that mountains are climbed one step at a time, books are written one page at a time, and fortunes are built one decision at a time. Small actions may not feel like much today, but over weeks, months, and years, they create unstoppable momentum. Think about a person who wants to get healthy. Going to the gym for 10 hours in one day will not change their life. But exercising for 30 minutes a day every day, for a year, that transforms everything. The same is true for learning a new skill. Studying for 10 hours straight might feel productive, but studying 1 hour a day for 6 months will make you an expert compared to someone who quits after the first burst of enthusiasm fades. Consistency beats intensity every single time because intensity is temporary, but consistency is permanent. The problem is that small steps often feel too small to matter. Saving a little money each week feels insignificant when the dream is financial freedom. Writing 1 page a day feels slow when the goal is to finish a book. Practicing a new skill for 20 minutes a day feels pointless when mastery seems so far away. But what people forget is that success compounds. Just as money grows through compound interest, progress multiplies through consistent effort. What feels small today becomes unstoppable when repeated over time. I have seen people with less talent and fewer resources succeed because they refused to stop showing up. While others were waiting for the perfect time or big opportunity, these people kept moving forward step by step, day after day. They understood something powerful. You do not have to be perfect to make progress. You just have to be consistent. Momentum builds slowly at first, but once it starts rolling, it becomes almost impossible to stop. And here is the beauty of taking small steps daily. It builds habits, and habits shape your identity. When you keep showing up, even in small ways, you begin to see yourself differently. You start believing you are capable, disciplined, and committed. That belief fuels even more action, and the cycle of progress continues. One day, you look back and realize the small, ordinary steps you took created an extraordinary life. So, if your dream feels overwhelming right now, stop focusing on the entire mountain. Focus on the next step, and then the next. Because success is not built in a day, it is built daily through the quiet, consistent actions that compound into a future beyond anything you imagine. The mindset that will change your life immediately. So here we are, having walked through the principles that can transform your life the very moment you choose to embrace them. And as you look back at everything we have explored, the shift from complaining to creating, the courage to believe before you see, the wisdom to embrace challenges as teachers, the discipline to focus on long-term value over short-term comfort, the power of surrounding yourself with growth-minded people, the strength to turn rejections into redirection, and the commitment to take consistent small steps every single day. You can feel one truth rising above them all. Change begins the moment you decide to think differently. The life you dream about will not arrive by accident. It will not be handed to you by chance or luck. It will be built by the choices you make every day, by the way you see yourself and your future, and by the mindset you carry into every challenge, every rejection, every opportunity. Because the difference between people who keep waiting and people who keep winning is not their circumstances. It is their mindset. You have to reach a point where you stop saying, "One day I'll change," and start saying, "Today is the day I change." You have to reach a point where excuses no longer satisfy you, where fear no longer controls you, where failure no longer defines you. Because the moment your mindset shifts, the moment you decide that your dreams are worth the effort, the sacrifice, the persistence, and the courage, life begins to open doors you never imagined existed. The road will not always be easy. There will be days when you feel tired, when progress feels slow, when people doubt you, when rejection stings, when challenges overwhelm you. But those are the very days when your mindset will carry you forward, when you will look at the obstacles and say, "This is not the end. This is my training. This is my preparation. This is my path to something greater." Because here is the truth: success is not about luck. It is not about talent alone, and it is not about waiting for the perfect moment. Success is about having a mindset that refuses to quit, a mindset that learns from pain, that grows from failure, that stays focused on the future while taking action in the present. And if you can walk out of here today with that mindset burning inside you, if you can wake up tomorrow refusing to complain, choosing to believe, embracing challenges, focusing on growth, surrounding yourself with the right people, learning from rejection, and taking small, consistent steps toward your goals, then your life will not stay the same. Because the moment you change your mindset, you change your direction. And when you change your direction, you change your destiny.